Hey everybody, this is our first video walking around San Diego Comic-Con here at the show. This is Wednesday morning, here we're in the Gaslamp, and just want to give you guys a look around. We'll come back and take a deeper look at all of these activations and of course go inside the show. And you can expect to see videos, maybe more than one per day here while this is all going on. So we're just going to walk through the activations as they're built here. You can see the Demon Slayer wrap here. There's a lot of stuff still under construction. Down here by MTS is actually Percy Jackson work. They're still working really hard to get that ready. And then as we kind of come back around, you can see how the Gaslamp is kind of set up here. Right here on the corner above Lou and Mickey's is the AMC Scream for Me. And there's a pretty tough ticket to get right here that Shudder put on, which is this Clown in a Cornfield. And this is still in progress, but this one is a bit of a tough ticket to get. People have been kind of curious about this. So if you're a Shudder fan, this looks like the place for you. Yeah, for sure. Are you afraid of Friendo? Yes, I think I am. Convention Center still looking beautiful. It's a great morning here, and you can see everybody's getting ready. And there's a lot of really cool stuff to see here, even though we're not actually able to go into the show. Tonight at 6 o'clock is preview night. That's where we'll be going into the show floor, and we'll come up with a walkthrough and show you guys what it looks like on the inside of the show. But for now, these are all of the activations and offsites. This year is huge, of course, for the Fantastic Four. There was a drone show that previewed on Sunday night above Petco Park, and it was pretty incredible. I hope to actually be able to catch that again. As you can see here, they've got a Google Play game. I guess for Monopoly Go, there's going to be a Fantastic Four season or series, and they've got that, but then they've also got this really cool rewards lab. And this, they're still putting it together here, as you can see. This looks pretty awesome. Walk through these different halls. I don't know what happens, but there's very cool. A lot of work still going on here, so wow, this is quite extensive. Last year they used this space, I believe, for a giant Ferris wheel. Which was kind of cool. That was also, once again, for Marvel games. A Marvel game that they had actually on Google. All right, well, we'll just walk down here a little bit further. There's also a lot of folks who live down here in this area, so I'm sure this is a huge disruption for them every year, because I always see people down here walking their dogs. Okay, up here on the right is the Peanuts activation. This is the same spot it was last year. I love this funky little atrium look. It's kind of attached to this hotel. It looks like they'll be doing something really interesting here. We're trying to steer clear of folks while they're working, so unless it looks like they're finished, we're not going to get up too close, but you can see they're still putting the stuff together. There tends to be a pretty long line for all that fun stuff. Very cool. Now right next to that is the Doctor Who activation, and if you're a fan of Doctor Who, you can see it looks like that is a front door there to the TARDIS. So you'll be able to walk through and kind of come in. Last year, this was the Planet of the Apes, celebrating their new movie that they had coming out. It was actually a really cool space. So we'll be very curious to check out Doctor Who, and of course we will. And as I mentioned before, my name is Dustin, I'm the Fandom Traveler. This video is going to be a faceless video of walking through because you're here to look at what's going on at Comic-Con, not necessarily look at me. I want to invite you guys to like and subscribe. I'll be making content here each day of the show and beyond. What's this channel about? Well, it's not just about San Diego Comic-Con. It's actually about traveling out to fandom events and fandom locations. So I like to go to film shots, places where movies have been shot, and kind of see the locations where those films were created. We make all kinds of guides for different cities around the world, and San Diego Comic-Con is just the biggest event in the world of its kind, outside of events like Star Wars Celebration, Disney D23, both of which we have covered also. All right, now I'll go just a little bit further here. I believe this might be the Coca-Cola activation on the right here. Yes, it is. Obviously, everyone's still hard at work. But this is, these panels make it look pretty clear to me that this is a Star Wars centered, maybe an Imperial kind of paneling, because there's a big campaign right now between those things, between Star Wars and Coca-Cola that they just announced. So this is a small thing, but likely to be really cool. And one good thing about San Diego Comic-Con is that there's a limited number of places where all this stuff can get put. And over here is Twisted Metal. So you can see here, yep, this is going to be something to celebrate the return of Twisted Metal on Peacock, which is great. And you can see they've got all these cool signs here. And it looks like a mobile bumper cars thing, which would be really cool. Maybe we'll see if we can get a slightly better look here. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like bumper cars. That's pretty cool. Twisted Metal bumper cars for Twisted Metal sounds pretty fun. I don't know if you can see that super well, but as the train goes by there, we're getting a first shot of the Nintendo Switch 2 wrap for Mario Kart World and the Donkey Kong Bonanza, which came out very recently. Nintendo has been promoting the Switch at the show very heavily, and I expect to see a lot more stuff from them along the way. All right, so from here, I think we're gonna go across to the convention center and then do a loop around the outside. On the backside, the base side of the convention center, that's where you can find a lot of additional activations behind the Marriott marquee. You see the Star Trek Strange New Worlds from Paramount streaming up here. This is the Marriott Marquis Hotel at the northern end of the convention center. He's going the other way. Yep. Always look out for these guys when you're crossing. It's a beautiful day here in San Diego. All right, let's go across. Well, Harbor Drive is still open to cars, which is crazy. For a long time, I had never seen that before. And it's, now I've driven on it a couple times myself. It's very strange. Comic-Con changes the shape and texture of this city in so many different ways. It's a lot of work putting this event on every year. In fact, the plans are already underway for the next Comic-Con before the first one gets settled. And so it's a never-ending, up-to-the-minute effort to pull these things off. All right. And you can see, welcome to Comic-Con International. Okay, so we leapt over here, a little bit of a boring part, and now we're on the Marina side of the convention center. And you can see boats aplenty here. This is a very active marina. Some folks live out here on their boats. And then on this side, you can see, yep, that's the back side of the convention center. And it turns out there's lots of interesting stuff here to see. So let's take a look. Now, you can see, I'll zoom in just a little bit here. This is a first look here of Alien Earth, which is a new FX original series that's actually across like 30 floors of the Hilton Bayfront. That is at the south end of the convention center, past Hall H, just to give you your bearings. This is the opposite side of the sales pavilion. You can recognize that because of that colored dome up there. And I'll be honest, I don't spend a lot of time back here usually, and that's because some of these are ticketed events and activities that you can only get into if you've got tickets. And I've been curious, interested, but pretty poor at procuring a lot of these events. Now, Crunchyroll's got a big thing here, and they're actually doing a really cool series of concerts that are going to feature a lot of the performing acts of some of the most popular anime series that they have on the Crunchyroll service. And this band shell, if you can see it down the back of this facility, doesn't look like there's too much branding or anything like that, but I believe this is where they're actually going to have their concert. And so you can see the flags all the way down the sidewalk here. And that's really cool. Now let's cross the street here safely. Still a lot of activity going on here. And you can see a big old Ferris wheel. I guess we'll wait to see till we get around the way what that is. Yield here to pedestrians. I always love that kind of a sign. Okay, all right, so yes, they have porta potties. So this is the Abbott Elementary Activision here, and you can see all of the main characters here. That's a really cool sculpt. And you've got a look at a Ferris wheel there. I think this is, I'm not a big Abbott Elementary fan, but if I remember correctly, this A Very Abbott Block Party is supposed to be an on-show event that they do, and it looks like the activation is looking to replicate that, which is very cool. So, team's still hard at work at all of that, but it looks like it's pretty extensive. Like you can see it goes all the way down here to the end, so it's definitely a large footprint for this event. Pretty cool. Looks like they also have some Rita's ices that are available, and they've got some custom colors, or they've got some custom flavors there. This looks like fun. You know, I'm not a big fan of this show, but I might come back and take a look at it because there seems like a lot of things to do. Okay. Now on this side, we've got King of the Hill coming to Hulu. I try to get out here before the sun gets too crazy, but who's ready for seconds? So they've got a new season coming on August 4th, which is cool. And then this is the Mayhem activation featuring King of the Hill. So you can see the house, Hank Hill's house back there. You got the trees up. Again, they're still all working very hard on this guy. And the front looks like it's over here. Some other fellow creators taking some video of what's going on this morning. Just throwing up the peace sign. Oh, look, the Alamo's there. It's gonna be very Texas. And then looks like this might be the actual entrance, King of the Hill. Very cool. Now, let me loop back here and actually point out this cool ship. The Voodoo Ranger is actually a boat party. And the Voodoo Ranger is the boat and the experience. And every year they throw this party, and it's aboard this crazy killer pirate ship. I'm gonna get up here and see if I can actually get my camera through the bars so you can get an unmitigated view of this ship. So gorgeous. Look at this thing. Who would not want to go out and party on that boat? And so this is going to be a lot of fun for folks at the end of the day. I believe this is all after the show is concluded. People come out and then they jump on the ship and get ready for a really fun party. That sounds like you cannot go wrong. I'm also making a list of all the stuff I need to come back to because that's going to be important later. You've got to get really picky about where you spend your energy here at Comic-Con because it's not, you cannot do everything. You got to wait in line, and even the best VIP experience still requires you to wait in a lot of line. So let's see, we'll go down here and see what's coming. Then we'll loop around and see if people are already in the line for Hall H. And that might just about do her for this one. And again, my name is Dustin. I'm the Fandom Traveler, and I'll be making videos at San Diego Comic-Con all day, every day. You can expect 1, maybe 2 videos per day from me, depending on how the show goes. And so today, I'll be posting this one, and then later I'll have another one this evening for a preview night. And so you can look forward to both of those. All right. Here on the Marina side, looks like we've got the Brawl Stars Star Park. That looks pretty cool. Try to come up here and get a better look. Wow, everyone's still busy. Looks like though that's going to be a lot of fun. Now this is the Adult Swim Park, and I love Adult Swim. It's been a really big part of my animation journey for a long time. A lot of great shows, a lot of great memories. Let's see if we can get in a better position to take a look at this one. Before we do, we'll give you the long view of the Brawl Stars floating platform here. Looks like they just literally brought up a platform, or maybe this one's here all the time, and then they just set up the Brawl Stars stuff here. So it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Coming back here, so you can see on Adult Swim, they've got a whole lot of inflatable stuff. Dinosaurs. They've got Rick and Morty toilet paper hanging from this walls here. Looks like they're trying to do an Adult Swim pirate ship. You can see this, the Rick and Morty bounce house. Interesting. Awesome. Well, looks like that's going to be a lot of fun as well. And you look back, you can see the San Diego Marina. That is awesome. That's Coronado Island over there. And this highway that connects over to it is actually how you get over there. Now, on this backside of the marina, you can actually take a ferry. So if you stay over in Coronado, you can ride the ferry over. You don't have to drive in or or park. All right, so now down here we're getting closer to the bayfront. There's the look at the Alien Earth signage on the side of the hotel. And of course they've got this big area roped off for Alien Earth. I'm very curious what this one's gonna look like, to be honest. That is the worst. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a forklift guy who's coming down. He's got the worst horn ever on his little beeper. His little beeper's sad. Hey, hard to tell what's going on in here. Maybe this is going to be something smaller. I don't know. Obviously, we're not able to see. Maybe on the other side we'll get a little bit of a better view. There's a little bit of an opening over here for now. We might be able to spy in just a little bit, although this appears to be the working area. Oh, look at that. You can look. Looks like sort of a crash ship in there. Oops. There's some other stuff going on here. I think they want to bring you into the series by helping explain what's going on and how you got here. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, because it's Comic-Con, I would be remiss if I didn't call attention over to the Old Spice activation here. It looks like they've got something that they're doing with DC. In the back, I can see the cover of Superman #1. I'm going to see if I can get I think there's an iconic Superman shot that they're somehow tying into this particular activation. I don't know if I can get a really clear view of it, unfortunately, but this looks fun. At least it'll smell good. Oh, I can figure it out here. You come a little closer here in celebration of the release of Superman, and it's a little hard to see on this. This is kind of like a muslin, but they've got bright citrus and Cosmos. What does Cosmos smell like? This is their Man of Tomorrow deodorant. So that's what's going on here. So hopefully folks will take advantage of this and smell like a hero. One more time for Alien, because this is just, it's always cool. There's always somebody that takes over this space and signage. It's just hard to imagine exactly how huge it is until you're like standing like right below it. All right. Now we're walking back towards Petco Park here. Of course, Petco's got a few interesting things as well. I see more Abbott Elementary over there. Looks like this is what they're expecting for lines over here on Aliens. That's pretty crazy. You can see that Dexter's being promoted here. He's alive and killing it. Dexter is a pretty good show. And once we come around these trees, you'll see Abbott Elementary is being promoted here. Very, very busy over here. Yeah, so you can see they're promoting again and the Rookie as well, Nathan Fillion's show. Good stuff, good stuff. If you watch my videos in the past on any of my other channels or things like that, you probably haven't seen me spend too much time out here, because I don't. I actually really usually don't. Hall H has just been too much effort, and you know, the best seat is on the video. You can always hear everything clearly, you can always see everything, but I don't know, they've got George Lucas coming this year, so that's a little exciting. Now on the right hand side here, you can see the queue structure, and it does indeed go all the way down here to the end. So they have a considerable set of queues to let people in. And of course, here on the left-hand side, this is how you get into Hall H if you've never been here before. will say that it's pretty awesome to have that AC blast after standing out for several hours in the sun. I can already see people are over here, but we'll go wave at the tough folks. There's not a lot of people out, but there are people out, and they are intending to be here for a long time. Maybe we go ask them a question. Good morning, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm making a video. Can I ask you how long you've been here already?
Yeah, like I guess since 9 or 10 in the evening.
9 or 10 last night?
Yeah.
You arrived?
But me and this other guy, Brian, who stepped away, we were like checking since like maybe around 1 in the afternoon every 90 minutes on when we could sort of line up.
Wow, very cool. And so 9 o'clock, so you guys were out here overnight?
Yeah.
Oh.
They actually let us line up there around 5.
I see. So you got a wristband and then you just came back to line up at 5? No wristband?
Not for Hall H, this is for the everything else line.
Got it.
So yeah, it's another kind of sickness, different kind of mental. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
All right, thanks for chatting with me. Have a good show. Okay, so 9 o'clock last night, and then came back again at 5 this morning. So yeah, and right now my time is 9 a.m. So those guys have been sitting there making friends since 5 in the morning, 4 hours. Pretty crazy. And then of course here is another entrance here for Hall H. We'll take a pan back across and show Petco, the Omni. It's looking pretty good here. We're set up for a really great Comic-Con, and I'm super excited about all of this week's coverage. So the one thing I haven't seen anything about yet is Tron. I see the sign over here for Tron, but I haven't seen anything else. But I've heard really good and fun things from the people who are in the know. So I think we'll walk back up here to the Gaslamp, complete our circuit, and we'll sign off for this video. I'm gonna go get some breakfast, get this video moving, upload it for you guys. Again, this is the Fandom Traveler, and I cover all sorts of fan events and scene locations, on-screen locations. And it's a pleasure to bring all of these great contents and visit these places and bring them to you. If you're enjoying the content, please give a like, and more importantly, a subscribe. We are trying to find other folks who enjoy this type of content. I know I'm not the only person that does these kinds of things, but I'm the only me who does these sorts of things. So if that's resonating with you, hey, please show some support and give us a subscribe. As I said, we'll be here all week. You can expect 1 to 2 videos per day, and all of these activations that I can get into, I'm going to go back through and show you what's behind the scenes in the finished form. So with that, we're going to sign off here from beautiful San Diego, and we will see you later on this evening for our first preview night, which will showcase things on the show floor.